It's just a thing. Mm-hmm. I like that mug, by the way. Is it a new one?
What, this one?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be my Christmas gift.
Oh,
but I broke a mug on the weekend when I was putting dishes away. I wasn't paying attention and I hit the cabinet door and the handle broke off of my I do what she says mug. She's got the I do and I've got the I do what she says. I broke that mug and I was like, oh, and Melissa went, all right, well, this was supposed to be for Christmas, but anyways, here you go.
Here you go. Well, I like it. It's very nice. Very, very clean looking. It looks sharp. I would hope that your dishes are cleaned. It's a weird thing to say.
This is the fourth day I've been using this. I just pour the new coffee into the old coffee, so there's 4-day-old coffee in there swirling around. No,
it's like your decanted coffee, right? It's
you got to decant that coffee, people. You got to decant that coffee.
Anyway, how's your week been? Lucy, you've been good?
Yeah, nothing. We're on the cusp of losing yet another tooth.
Ooh.
We had to stop dinner midway last night because he was worried that it was going to fall out, and we were having tacos for dinner, and he was eating his taco, and I looked at him and I said, oh my gosh, that tooth is going to fall out. And he's like, oh yeah, it's been wiggly for a while. I've been able to wiggle it for a few weeks. I'm like, okay, great. But you're actively bleeding.
Oh, really?
Was she?
Yeah, there
wow.
was blood in his on his lips.
On his
and
tortilla,
on his taco.
just a red tortilla.
Yes, the tip of it was stained red, and I was like, you don't have anything red in your taco. That's weird. So we settled on finishing dinner with a yogurt, and then today he's hoping that he will score another tooth box from school. So
have you paid out the last one?
Nope, still sitting on my kitchen table. He won't part.
Is he just gonna bank it so that he can just cash in a whole bunch of teeth all at once?
So no, he has this thought that if he loses the second tooth, he can't cash in on the previous tooth, which I don't know where he's gotten that piece of information from. But he's worried that he is going to put it under he wants to keep it. He's having trouble parting with it. So he's worried that if he puts it under his pillow that she won't leave it and the money. But he also just doesn't, or he's worried that she's going to leave the money and take the tooth.
So it's just a genetic thing that you keep teeth.
Yeah, it's just...
I don't know, I guess.
I don't think it's environmental.
It's
hereditary there, Lucy. It's just the thing that you've passed on to him where it's... No, sorry. I'd like the money, but I don't want to trade it for this. I believe that I should be able to have all of my teeth.
And little does he know, your mom's just stashing them for you.
I actually went out for lunch with someone, with an old friend who I've known forever. Actually, it's my mom's friend, so I've known him literally since the day I was born. Anyway, we went out for lunch. And he didn't know that my mother had kept all of our teeth. And I showed him the picture, and he was like, that's kind of weird.
I don't think she would have broadcast that to a lot of people.
You'd think so. But he knows everything about us. He's like a non-blood related uncle to us.
Yeah.
So it was weird that he didn't know it. But yes, you're right. It probably is hereditary, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's still sitting on my dining room table. Now he's going to have 2. We're going to have a backlog of them. So luckily I've heard that the Tooth Fairy got cash and reserves for him. So
oh, that's good.
No one's going to be running to the bank. She's not going to make a pit stop at the bank on the way here.
He's just going to be like, well, then I guess I have time then to decide. And then you're right. He's going to have 5 or 6 teeth. And then you're going to be in a real state of trouble when he basically goes, you know what? I think I want to cash them all in. That's fine. She can take them all. But am I going to get money for all of them? And it's just ew.
It's per, she only pays out once per trip.
There you go.
So doesn't matter how many teeth are in there.
My friend said that we were talking about teeth after the episode came out, and she gives loonies or toonies. I think she might do like $5 for the first one or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I never have cash around. That's what the piggy banks are for. I sneak into their piggy banks and put it under the pillow.
Perfect.
And then it just gets put into the piggy bank, and it's just this cycle. She's like, I'll replace it eventually, but if I don't have cash on hand, I just crawl into those piggy banks. Like, it's genius. You can always replenish it later, you know.
Yeah. Oh, no,
add an IOU.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's it's Tooth Fairy's getting real.
IOU $5. Love the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Wait, all this time she's just been giving me my own money?
Right.
No, she's just out of cash because she's giving all the cash to your kid, Lucy. That's all it is.
He's. You know what? I've only got one.
That night is just a bunch of IOUs. So, anyways,
I've only got one, so he can have all the money that should have been dispersed to the other children that don't exist.
Well, that's exciting though. That's exciting that he's got another one though. And where is it? Is it in the back, front? Like,
no,
is he gonna have like a big
he's gonna be
gappy...
missing both his front teeth.
Woo!
Top or bottom? The top ones?
Top. Yeah, he's already lost the 2 bottom ones. Those were the first 2 to go.
Nice.
I think that's actually like my grade 2 picture, is that I have my front ones like starting to come in. So it's just like a gap, but with little tiny like peek throughs.
He's got,
like they weren't fully in.
The one that he lost a couple weeks ago has started to come in, but you can't see it unless you're like really looking at his mouth. Mm-hmm. So when this one comes out, he will be they won't be visible.
Yeah.
They won't, like, they're not, the one that has grown in is not, like, obvious yet.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Yeah, I think everyone goes through some sort of... Yeah, some version of
Totally.
that happens. Some combination happens that to everybody where you don't have one or both of your front teeth. Like, it's,
yeah.
You know,
and it's generally around grade 2. It's not like he's doing it in grade 4 or kindergarten, you know.
My friend's kid, like 2 years ago, she took her to the park, and she's only 5, and she fell in the park and she knocked out one of her front teeth. So she's been living for like 2 years without one of her front teeth.
That happened to my friend's kid, and it was some of the front ones. I'm not sure if it was top or bottom, and it happened at like 2.
Yeah,
like the kid was like 2 or 3 years old. So it was like until you're 7. It's like 5 years to live without teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you guys do on the weekend? Was it an eventful weekend? Was it?
What did we do? What did we do on the weekend? Michelle went to a birthday party. So Michelle got to go to a birthday party, and Melissa took her, which was nice. Melissa was available to take her. So Melissa got to actually meet a bunch of the parents that I meet and always forget their names immediately. And I know we've talked about this before, but it was nice for Melissa to come back and just go, I now know a lot of the parents that you claim that you know, that I actually can reorganize this and be like, this is actually the parent of this kid, and this is whose kid. Oh, is that it? Because I'm just terrible with that, and I just can't. It's overwhelming for me to do that. But anyways, Michelle got to go to a birthday party, went to a trampoline park. She likes those. Apparently she just chased around a couple of the kids the entire time. That's all they did was just run away from each other. They didn't do a lot of jumping. So I was like, hey, whatever's, and there's trampolines, you guys could do flips. But actually I've been told that they can't do flips. So trampoline parks are they're terrible. Can't do flips at a trampoline park.
They're only good for so far.
They're only good, yeah. But apparently she had a really good time, and I was shocked to hear that this, because it just seemed incredibly a large amount. This party had 22 kids at it.
Whoa,
my gosh.
That's a big party.
That's a big one.
That's like invite the whole class kind of party.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And I've been to ones with Michelle before where I've taken her to a birthday party, and there's maybe like 15 kids maybe, but like, and that felt already, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of kids. But 22 is the class. 22 is just, or it's the size of a class. It's just a class that went on a field trip to a trampoline park.
And it's like the size, it's like everybody was invited and everybody was free to attend. Like both things lined up. Because like, you send out 10 invites and, 5 to 7 come. But
So
Yeah,
this was
that's wild.
They probably invited 30 kids and 22 of them showed up or
That's
something
wild.
like that. Yeah, and then everybody's got to come with at least one parent. So that means there's 44 people there.
Yeah.
Including
was this a kid from school?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kid in another.
I guess you mentioned that. Yeah.
It's a kid in another class. Or it's older. This child is older than Michelle. So I think they're in the elementary class, but they were friends like last year, and they're still friends. But like they know each other from last year and stuff. But I don't think the parents knew who we were. So like now they do. I actually just bumped into the mother in the parking lot. We got to say hi and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it was like my first, like, not my first time, but it's just like that's happened more and more now where it's like people seem to recognize me and I recognize them. And it's like now when you make those connections of just like, you're this person's mother, you're this person's father and stuff. It's like, I feel like when you make that connect, you know, like actually learning who people are and their names and stuff, it really does help rather than just a wave to a stranger and just being like, I hope one day we know each other.
I hope you don't think I'm a stranger. Do you know who I am? Look at this person with me.
I come here, I park, and I get out of my car, I walk around the parking lot, and I get in and I leave. And I have no children. No, that'd be bizarre. But yeah, it was just nice it's nice when birthday season kicks in. I mean, I guess there's no birthday season, but I feel like every class, like, it comes in batches. Like she hasn't been invited to a party in a bit, and then I feel like then we get invited to like there's like 4 of them like all in a row or something. Like it's like I feel like that, and when that happens,
right,
when a bunch of them all line up in a row, I find that that's when parents are actually able to like meet each other.
Yeah,
in a forced organic way. It's like, all right, you all get. It's like it's not organic, but it is forced in. It is organic in the sense of like you're all going to be in this room for like a few hours. You better start getting to know each other, and then maybe you guys can like your kids can hang out and stuff. So
I was at a play date on the weekend, and it was lovely, and they have 3 kids, and we started talking about birthdays because we have one coming up that's in December, and her youngest has one coming up in November, and birthdays can be like really, really expensive depending on the route that you go. And so a thing that they've started doing, which I thought was a really cool idea, especially since they have 3 kids, it adds up, is they celebrate the big ones. So like on your 5th birthday, your 10th birthday, your like 15 or 16, 18, that's when you get like your big party. You can do whatever you want, wherever you want. Like it's going to be a big to do. And then the other years, you still celebrate their birthdays, obviously. Like you have a cake, you do like maybe 1 or 2 kids come over for like cake and a dinner or pizza or like a movie. Like it's just a lot smaller and it's not a big to do, and or like a family dinner. And I was like, that's a really great idea. Like you still get to celebrate with your family. Your birthday doesn't go unrecognized, but then you get a big shebang on a big one. So then you still get to like have that big party, and you know when to expect it. And then also it's not so hard on parents' pockets, or even like not even just on the pockets, but also on like the planning and the ideas and like coming up with all the things. And I really liked the idea.
It takes the pressures off the years in between and stuff. Because I imagine that like their first birthday, you'd like to make that a big deal. But then like 2, 3, 4, this is just my opinion. This is, everybody's different. But it's just like, 2, 3, and 4, it's like you start to get into this realm of like, okay, so like now you're 2, now you're 3, now you're 4. But 5 does sound like a nice like 5. Like it sounds like that's like a big one and stuff. And then once you get into like 7 and 8 and stuff, and 10 is also a big,
the double digits.
But I really like the idea of you know exactly. You still don't like. You still like have a party, but it's just not as big. Or you still have a celebration, I should say, of some level of those other years when they turn 3, when they turn 7, when they turn 8, like that sort of stuff.
You don't
because
ignore
I feel like
them.
you still, exactly. It's like it's not like you're not a leap year kid. Well, sorry, didn't come up this year. Sorry, you didn't. No, you still gotta do some sort of celebration and stuff. But I know that we struggle with the twins because their birthday is right around Thanksgiving. And we've also had we've also had scheduling stuff the last couple of years because there's either been weddings or just like Thanksgiving traditions or whatever. It's just like they always get like shafted, like they always get kind of pushed to the side of that. But they're also 1 or they're also 2 now, and it's like I think that if we do a big thing for their 5th birthday, that's like they'll remember that. They'll like, they're never going to remember their first, but maybe they'll remember their 5th birthday, or it's a big deal that they're turning 5, and it's both of them. And it's also weird that it's twins. Like, not weird, but it's just difficult.
Twins, it could be like, you could also do like, you get 4 and 8, and you get 5 and 10, but like, you still get to go to the other one. I don't know. Like, there's other.
Well,
there's an added level of complication.
The twin birthday stuff is like, I already feel like I've heard stories, because Melissa is also a twin. I've heard stories from her of like the different years of birthdays where it's like one has a bigger birthday than the other, and it's like some years it doesn't matter and some years it does. Some years it hurt the other person, and some years it's like they don't even recognize that the other person didn't have as big of a birthday. Like, twin birthdays is really, really tough, because it's like there's just so many things that you have to kind of avoid, but you still have to celebrate them, and like you still have to like you can't just be like, you can't just brush them off, and you can't just be like, well, you both get the big thing that Melissa told me is when she was growing up is that her and her twin brother they both got a cake growing up. They both each got a cake, and I felt like that was like my first like, right, you can't just like happy birthday and then put both their names on it, and they both get to blow out like the same.
Cut it down the middle and split it.
yeah, and you share this with your friends, and you share this with your friends, and don't you cross any lines. Like, yeah, it's like
I hope you got the same amount of friends, because you only got the same amount of cake.
Yeah. One of them's just not inviting anybody, so then that way they still have friends around, but they get half of a cake to themselves, and that's what but it's like, it's stuff like that where it's complicated with twins, and I think it only gets probably more difficult as they get older. Like, what do you do? Like, that sweet spot years of when they want to have, like, whether they want to have sleepovers or whether they want to go somewhere. It's like, that's going to be difficult to do. But at the age that they are right now, man, birthdays are just like, it's like they're just like a minefield of like what you should and shouldn't do. Like, it's like, of course, if I had unlimited resources, I'd be like, every year invite the school. Like, everybody come over, we'll have it catered, it'll be fine, I'll rent a giant tent and it's like, you can't do that. That's not realistic. So like, what do you do? And it's like drawing those lines of who do you invite and how much money do you spend. But I like that idea.
Your yard's on a hill, so you just can't do the tent thing. It's just not realistic for you.
Or it's just a really slanted tent, and it's just like, we call it the fun tent, and everyone's like, whoa, my chair, I can't sit in it, I'm falling down the hill. So
Lucy, what do you do with the kid? Is it change every year? Do you pick what he wants to do? Is it like
his birthday's in the summer, so we do backyard birthdays, and we invite whoever he wants and all the family. And I think this year we had 25 people.
Nice.
In my backyard, and then it rained like torrential. Brandon, you were there. You remember? It was puddles.
Is that this year? I thought that was the year before. I thought there was
past year.
Oh, okay.
And then they all came in my house, so we had like 25 people in my living room, and that was fun.
That's fun. Do you do the same thing? Like, is it like the same thing every year, and it's just your guys' thing?
Yeah, we just have a backyard birthday, and I think we always try to plan like an activity, but then the kids just kind of like make their own activities. Yeah, we have a trampoline, and like I don't know. They be kids.
It's just a fun hangout.
I think that like, I don't know, a lot of people over plan birthdays, right? Like, my sister-in-law always has. So my nephew's birthday is the day before the kid's birthday.
Okay,
but they're a year apart.
Right.
So my nephew's a year younger. And my sister-in-law, we always have to like pick which day we're gonna use because their birthdays are right next to each other. And my sister-in-law always has it at like a play place. And I'm always like, see, like the kids don't need like this like hyper micro managed birthday party. Just go let them play. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think it depends on the kid, and I think some people, like I know some people just don't want people at their house.
Yeah. We're lucky because we've got a big backyard. So we just buy some, and it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than renting out like a play place or like doing anything crazy. We went to a birthday party bowling. We went bowling. We know that. I've already talked about the bowling.
Yeah.
And like that was multiple hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can have people in my backyard and it'll cost me $100 in food.
Yeah, and I have a winter birthday, and then like a cusp of winter spring birthday. So it's like we don't do like we don't have the backyard option.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's harder when you have winter birthdays.
Yeah,
sure.
it's a little different. So
yeah. Michelle has a like with you, Hannah with they have December birthdays, which are. It's like it's so bitter. It's like just getting anybody to come out to anywhere is just but last year it snowed.
Well, it's really close to Christmas too.
Oh, yeah. So, well, I don't know if so this is very specific to kids that are born close to Christmas, and even if it is like a few weeks before or whatever, even a month, I think that you're still in the realm of like that Christmas, the Christmas
well, according
spirit
to the
and stuff.
stores, it's now Halloween's over according to the stores, so now it's Christmas, and so birthdays just don't matter. No,
that's true.
Anyway,
that's true. But do you find that family and this will be calling out your family, but do you feel that family or friends or anybody like use that birthday as a way of like, well, we can just get like the whole family together and then we don't have to see each other at Christmas, or like, not that we don't want to see each other at Christmas, but it's like the birthday becomes also about like, but then all the family can come over and like celebrate ours birthday, but then also like maybe Christmas has a little bit less of a pressure on it for everybody to see everybody, because I don't know if that's something that happens with my family, but it's something that like Melissa and I are like aware of like make sure that like this is Michelle's birthday. Like Christmas is Christmas. Mm-hmm. Michelle's birthday is Michelle's birthday. Like that, it's something that's very, very different. We just had to make choices about like making sure that people understood that this was like about her, rather than like, oh, but we can also be like, we all get to see the family and stuff, and then like we
like,
can just
I'll just do one big present, and you're like, but it's a different thing.
But it's that's a whole other. Anyways, I don't want to get into that just now. But it's just like, do you find that, or do you find that there's like a good division and people kind of take it like, this is ours birthday and this is Christmas?
Yeah. Well, a couple things to note. Well, first of all, Lucy, one thing that you mentioned was like your nephew and the kid's birthday are right beside each other. I almost felt that way. Like Melissa and I used to plan, okay, well, are you getting this weekend or this weekend?
Yeah,
because when we were really little, it's like, who's invited? Oh, just our kids, right? Mm-hmm. Like there was their first birthdays, which was like, hey, which weekend are you picking? And then there was the pandemic, and then it was like we were bubbled. So it's like, okay, we just do it all together.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. We did do that. That's right.
Yeah, we just bubbled their birthdays.
Like they're twins.
But yeah. I mean, they basically were.
We basically just all right.
For
you
like
guys are
2
twins.
years, they probably thought that they were just siblings. For
Did we give them each
pandemic.
a cupcake, or did they have to blow out one cupcake together, or a cake?
Oh
or
no,
something?
they don't. You remember? They both like. Well, I think Michelle was very much like, let's just check in on this, and like R just like shoved his face in their shared cake.
Yeah.
Like.
Right.
Like I think, and like this was his second birthday.
That's right. Yeah, because Michelle doesn't like cake, and our we found out doesn't like cheesecake, because we gave him cheesecake one time, and it was as if his mouth was on fire, and it was like he's like, ah! We were like, okay, so not cheesecake. So anyway, sorry, what you were saying, Hannah. Sorry, go back.
Anyway,
to,
the birthday's December, like a December birthday with close to, or November close to Christmas. We don't ever really. We very much have a birthday for R. Like we don't even pose it as an option as like being close to Christmas. We just kind of say this is his birthday. And my family, it's still like, it's a trek. Like it's at least a 2-hour drive. Mm-hmm. So like we kind of say like, this is what we're going to do. You're welcome to join or not join. And then sometimes we go out there. It kind of depends on, I don't know. It's very much a separated thing, and I don't think anybody's ever considered it being the same thing.
That's good. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Like my family's not like crazy present oriented either, so it's not like this big present thing either.
That's
and
good.
Also, my dad has a December birthday, so maybe it's also for him that's like, maybe I'm a bit guilty of this, where I've been like, hey, ours birthday is this day. It's really close to yours, Dad. Why don't you come and we'll celebrate together? Where I'm like, but like he's older. Like you don't have to celebrate his birthday the same way. But like you get to have cake on ours birthday. It can be for your birthday too.
My dad's birthday is around the twins' birthday as well, and I feel like that sometimes can get, I can see that maybe happening as just like maybe it already has like their first birthday and stuff, but like really I can see that possibly happening of just like they don't get all. It's like it's not that everybody we have a party for all three of them, but it's just like there's like the lumping of putting them all together, especially around Thanksgiving, that we can just celebrate everything all at once, and then they can have their own party somewhere else.
And then I guess there's not just Christmas of lumping. You also have you have one kid that's close to Christmas and then the other are close to Thanksgiving. So you just
we didn't plan this right.
Holiday birthdays.
Yeah, Melissa and I didn't get lucky on that stuff. It was just they're both close to like two of the biggest holidays of the year that are all like family oriented stuff. Like it's not even like one's close to like Halloween where it's like but it's not known that you see your family on Halloween, but like Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Right. And the kid, what's the kid the closest to? Like Canada Day? Like that's not like it's
It's like
you don't do family dinners on Canada Day. I'm guessing that's the closest holiday for him. Yeah. I just wanted to say, while we're talking about birthdays, we want to hear from our listeners. You can either email us, DM us, or it's actually us that's replying to you. So let us know what you think about birthday parties and what your favorite thing is about them or what you hate about them.
But so we've done twins' birthdays this year, and they didn't get shafted. We just didn't do a party this year. We went to a pumpkin patch and we had a good time, and any family members that wanted to come out and join us, we kind of just had it as like an open invitation, and the grandparents came, like our parents and stuff came, and my brother and his partner and our niece, like they were out there and stuff. So that was really nice to like go and do. But I feel like next year is going to have to be. I don't think we have anything planned. On their fifth birthday, you'll just have to send like a message to like the universe, your family, your friends, and just say you cannot get married in the month of October. When my kids turn 5. No. I'm gonna send it out now, and I'm gonna be like, you all have to book off. Nothing happening in whatever that year is, 20 whatever. It's
and
just
book like 2 weeks just in case. Book 2 weeks.
The whole 2 weeks you gotta shut it all down. Nobody gets married around that time because we are gonna throw a huge party for these two because they've got a. They haven't been able to get anything. Their first birthday we had a bunch of people over and it was really nice, but it was still like just.
Their first birthday party was great.
Yeah, it was really great. Yeah, I'm not saying that it wasn't bad, but it's like if you look at the difference between their first birthday and Michelle's first birthday, it's like Michelle's first birthday.
Oh yeah. Hers was
huge, but it was also huge because she's also the first grandkid on like our sides and stuff. So it's like it was the first birthday for like a grandkid, and it was like for obviously for us.
Melissa had also been off for a year, so she needed to use her planning skills to make sure that they were still sharp.
Yeah, and she did a phenomenal job, and it was like it was wonderful, but it was extravagant and it was big and stuff, and it was also like that's what you do when it's like the kid's the first one, like when someone is like the first one and stuff, and you've done a good job, Lucy. I find is like consistently every year you've kind of made it almost the same, like it's always been like a consistent like type of party. It's been a consistent type of thing and stuff, and some years you have more people than not, but also I find that the transition that has happened is that more of the kids' friends have now started to show up because he's getting older, so he's making like friends that like
for the first few years it was like my nephew and Michelle. Like those were his only friends, and well, not his only friends, but those were the most important friends.
Exactly.
And now that he's got school friends, so
they
now
all show up. And
when we plan a birthday party, I say, okay, who do you want to invite? And he gives me a list, and I'm like, okay, well, we can't invite all of these people because that's just too many people. It's like the whole class. So who's the most important? And then there's like that's the conversation that we have to have, but.
So has he ever asked for anything different?
No. What did he ask for? No, I don't think so.
And if he did, would you switch it up? Or is this like, this is our thing? This is our
It's kind of what
our tradition.
It's kind of our thing. Even his first birthday party was a backyard birthday. And there was like 50 people. But he's also the first grandkid. I think my argument would be, well, how many people do you want? Because if you want it in the backyard, then we can have more people. Because like having it other places, right, like you're limited to how many kids you can invite.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I guess if he was like, instead, like, Mom, I want to go to the movies with like 5 kids, or Mom, I want to like, would you like go bowling with 5 kids? Would you switch it up, or is it more like? And then I guess you could still do your backyard, but with just family or something. Yeah, I just didn't know if this was like this is our thing. This is what we're doing.
Because it's so expensive to take kids to the movies now.
Oh my gosh!
To take like 5 kids to the movie,
right? And now you do like the room, and you get the cake.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if people do all that, but it was not really a thing to go. If you did a movie as your birthday, because I was in a rural town, you had to fit in the car, so you could only bring 3 friends.
Right.
So that because you had to drive really far, and it wasn't like your parents aren't going to drop you off at the movie theater. And maybe sometimes they did, I don't know, but like our birthdays were always backyard birthdays or at someone's basement, or it was at someone's house. Like that's pretty much what we did as birthdays. And I also was lucky. I don't remember Trevor's birthdays at all. Is that terrible? Actually, once he did it at the pool, which no longer exists, but there was a pool in town. But like, because he was a winter birthday, but I was a summer birthday. So we had like, backyard activities and scavenger hunts, stuff like that. And I'm kind of following suit a bit. Like with ours birthday last year, we did, what's that thing called? An obstacle course. And I actually borrowed some like cool things from the gymnastics club that he was at. And they were so wonderful, by the way. I was thinking about doing this. And one of the coaches was like, well, just come borrow all this stuff. Just email the owner. And I did. And she was like, yeah, just pop by on, Thursday or Friday, fill up your car with whatever you want and bring it back when he comes back to gymnastics, which was wonderful.
Way.
So
That's awesome.
I know.
That's great.
Like they didn't ask for money. They didn't ask for anything. She was just like, yeah, we got this stuff. We're not using it this weekend. Go for it. And I was like, well, you definitely have my business for all gymnastics for the future. But for lots of reasons. But so I like set up the basement. We set up like a there was like a thing you had to go under, and we did what is that? Like tissue paper stuff is like laser beams across. You had to go under, and you had to do the stepping stones and the balance beam, and then get to the end and hop off a thing. And so they did that, and like, let's be real, it took 10 seconds. Like that maybe took up 15 minutes of the whole party.
Sure.
But it was something that just to do. And we kind of like, that's kind of our thing currently, is that we're like, okay, what's an activity? And like this year I was thinking maybe we'll do like a science experiment, figure out like some sort of science experiment to do. I don't know how many kids he wants to invite yet. He keeps saying he wants to invite like his teachers and like he always wants, he's like, can I invite my babysitter? And I'm like, I don't know if she'll want to come, but maybe. And like he wants to invite all the adults.
Ours the best for that. It's just like I want to invite all the people that I love, and it's just like most of it's like adults. Like it's all like adults. I want my friends, but like really it's just like I like the babysitter because she gives me chocolate, and I like the it's all these people that it's like. But if they're all in the one room at the same time, do you know how many things I'm gonna like? They're all gonna like love me and stuff. Like I always find that your kid's funny that way. It's just.
Because ours, like, when it's an adult, they play the way I want to play. When it's a kid, I have to play the way they want to play, and that's not as fun.
Yeah. Your kid is so very much like, I want to play in this way. So it's just like, sure, I'll play this way,
It's been a thing we're trying to work on, because now we have 2 kids. We're like, Elle gets to have some say when you want to play now. Like, you don't always make the rules. And,
no, he's not a pirate. He's an astronaut. Anyway, sorry.
Always. That's honestly, I swear that was said yesterday. Probably even those exact things. Like, honestly.
Astronauts go to space. Sorry, go ahead.
And Elle's imagination is now there too. So now he's being like, even at bedtime, like you're laying in bed with him and he goes, blah, 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 and he's like making up things in his head. I'm like, go to sleep. What are you doing? Why is your imagination going?
It's when they want to talk the most, right before bedtime.
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, so we try to do like an activity and then a food and then cake. And then I don't know if we'll do like opening presents this year. I don't know. We'll see. But R asked for a movie this year. So I thought we'll order pizza, do a movie, but then also an activity so that they're not
Well, that'll be nice. That'll be good. I mean, I feel like if you do like a few things, because they're at that age now where they're turning an age now where it's like you have to do something at the party that like now there's like not events, but there's like things to do at the party that like you've set up. It's like when they're like 1, 2, or even 3, it's just like having people over and then they all just get to play. At this
new toys,
in this thing. Yeah,
toys,
it's just like, okay, great. So it's just like a hangout, and mostly that's for like the adults. That's what they always say, right? Is every time that you have like a bigger party when they're younger, I always find that there's that comment by 1 or 2 adults. It's just like, yeah, but they're not going to remember this. Like, why are you spending all this money and why are you doing all this stuff? They're never going to remember this. And I'm just like, okay, but like, if there's no pictures of a good party, like when they turn 1 or 2, like I don't want my kid to turn around and just be like, why didn't you throw parties? Well, we just figured you wouldn't remember it. So like, we just like, sat you in front of the TV and showed you a movie or whatever. But I find that they're getting to the age now where it's like, not only do they want to like, hey, can I have my party at this place, which is what we've done for Michelle, but it's like, I like, it has to be stuff that if you're not going to go to a place, it's like, you have to have stuff actually like set up that you're actually going to do. And that also leads into like, is there a theme? Like, I don't know if you guys believe in themes for like your birthdays and stuff, or like not your birthdays, but your kids' birthdays. Do you try to think of themes? I know, Lucy, you probably don't think of themes anymore because you seem to have like a very consistent, you seem to have a very consistent idea of like what the party is going to be every year. So Hannah, do you like ever think about themes or anything for the birthday parties?
Yeah, I do. I am probably like Melissa's worst nightmare because I think of way too many, and then I can't like break it down, so I just do it all, and it's never coordinated, makes sense. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like for ours first birthday, it was like a pajama party, but also it was like Wild One, and then it was also like something, I don't know, I did like a whole bunch because I couldn't make up my mind.
I remember and like
that
it was part.
Right, like you're in your pajamas, but then it's also like a wild theme. Yeah, and then you're all having pizza. It was very random, but like it was also a lot of fun.
Yeah, very I like the themes. Very R. R has grown into that type of person. I will say that where it's true. Just like it's like I want to take my pirate ship to space, and you're just like there's a lot of themes clashing here, buddy. But hey, let's just do it. Like
but it works. So we do that, and then we did the theme with our twins for their second birthday.
Yeah.
Like yours and mine.
Yeah.
But Melissa would have coordinated that because I know that Melissa's a theme person.
She is. Yeah, she likes to do she likes to do a theme.
But she has the thoughts to go with it that coordinate.
Yeah.
Like she can do it well.
The thing with Melissa is that she just throws so many themes at me that then she's like, which one should we choose? And I'm like, well, I like these 3. And then her response is like, okay, but I need you to pick one. And then I feel like then I start to sound like you, where I'm like, well, what if we do like it's Taco Tuesday, but there's like a forest element to it, and it's like, and then you can just see Melissa's
like
just
you're eating tacos in the forest.
Yeah, like I'm just making that up, but it's just like it's like I can just see Melissa's just like I need you to pick one. I need you to pick one because then we'll do it. We'll absolutely do it. But can you figure something? And I'm just always I just relate to you, Hannah, where it's just like, yeah, but I want them all, like, and then like, can't we just like, it's a tea party, but it's also, a gymnastics party, and it's just like, I don't think that works. It's just like, but I can make it work. We can do it. Go ahead, Melissa, make it work. But
well, and then we did. I think our wants maybe a superhero. Well, we kind of did. I don't know what we did. Like sort of adventure-ish last year with the obstacle course and stuff, and then we had a Spider-Man cake, and this year he hasn't fully made up his mind. I know he wants to do a movie, which like, is it going to be movie themed? I don't know, but I also have been asking him what kind of cake he wants, and it changes every day, but he one point said he wanted a superhero cake, but like an R superhero cake, and I was like, well, that's like super cool. I'm like, now I want to make that happen, because I'm like, you as a superhero is the coolest thing ever, and so now I really want to make that happen. I don't want him to change his mind at all. because I like this one.
Don't see anything else that's cool. Don't do anything. Look down at the ground for the next while. Like don't come up with anything. That would be cool. Is if you can get like something on a cake that like he's like a superhero. That's what a way to think outside the box. He's like, I don't want Spider-Man cake. I want like R on the
R
cake.
Is a super,
I want R. That's really that's.
And now I'm trying to think of a way that I can make the cake. Melissa and I made our very first cake together, and it was beautiful because Melissa did 90% of it. And then Melissa made the second and not the third. She made the first and the second for R. She made L's first. And then I bought one because we did a birthday with my brother for R's third birthday. But for L's second birthday, I did a Pinterest thing. It wasn't actually I think it was an Instagram reel or something. But my friend sent it to me. I'm like, that looks really cool. It looks complicated, but I don't think it is. And it actually was super easy. And I did like a digger cake. And it was like with like Oreo crumble and like did like the construction stuff on it. And it actually looked really cool with like a big number 2 in it. Nice. And it looked complicated, but it wasn't. And I'm like, that's my jam. Not complicated, but looks good.
Uncomplicated. So. Complicated, looks like it was going to be very difficult. You pull it off and everyone goes, whoa. Cakes are great that way. Cakes are great that way. When you have like a cake that's people are like, this is amazing, this is good. And you're just like, don't say that it was easy. Don't say that it was, not that it was easy, but like, you know, there's steps to it and it's just done. But I feel like if people don't know, cakes always like impress people tenfold.
Yes, people are very impressed by good.
Yeah, and so are kids. I think kids love them. Kids, that's like a huge part of the thing. Even if you have a kid like mine with Michelle who doesn't like cake. She at this birthday party just on the weekend. She came back and I was like, how was it and stuff? And she's telling me about it. I was like, well, did you eat any of the cake? And she's just like, no, I don't like cake. And I'm like, oh, okay. So did you eat like the pizza?
At the twins' birthdays, she just wanted to eat the sprinkles.
Yeah. She doesn't like cake. She doesn't like cake, and she doesn't like pizza. Those are like the two like really kiddie things that like she doesn't like. It's fine. It's fine.
We ate too much pizza together, and now
I
she's
guess
over
so.
it.
I guess
that happened to me too. I didn't eat pizza for like a year after we, because we ate too much pizza with you guys.
Yeah.
But I was also the kid. I didn't love cake, and I think it was because I don't know. I didn't really like the icing. It was the icing I didn't like. It was too thick. It was too, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was too much for me, unless it was like a homemade, like the buttercream. But I didn't like cake as a kid either.
No.
So
Michelle likes cheesecake. Michelle likes cheesecake. And I'm like, oh,
me too.
You are my daughter.
Cheesecake's the best.
You are my daughter. This is
she knows
lovely.
what's up. She knows what's up.
Yeah.
It's not that she doesn't like cake. She's just got a complex palate for cake.
Yeah. I mean, she loves...
Well, sometimes it can be too sweet.
Yeah.
And just like cake can be just too sweet.
Yeah.
Like, especially store-bought cake with all that icing on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you're saying Hannah.
You can just hand out Halloween candy for Michelle's birthday. That would be her, like just some chocolate, right? Just some straight up chocolate.
She would just sit there with a bag of chocolate chips and she'd just eat chocolate chips all day until
there
she's like, why does my tummy hurt? Why does my
sprinkle some chocolate chips onto a plate melt the little center, pour a candle in it, and there you go. Happy birthday.
It's just so funny to me that like she has a mother who like loves to bake and is very, very good at it, and like has like a track record of people being like, holy smokes, like you make such great, you know. When I started dating her, I had friends that were saying that, like, my God, Brandon, you are going to get so fat because you're just going to be eating all of these lovely cakes. And stuff. But it's like, it's so funny then like her first daughter is just like, nah. Not a big cake fan, not a big cupcake fan. She loves cookies. Somehow. She loves cookies. Like that's like she'll eat cookies all day and stuff, and she likes chocolate and stuff. But like it's always been an odd one for me, and it's something that I've had to like just as like a parent like kind of step back and just be like, don't force her to like cake. Like if she doesn't like cake, she doesn't like cake. But it's just such a weird concept for me of a kid that just doesn't like eating cake, and I have to like kind of always reset myself. That's like, you know, don't force cake on her. Like, it's okay. Like, it's not like it's fine. You don't have to like cake.
She doesn't have to like it.
You know, exactly. She doesn't have to like it. She doesn't have to. And I'm always in back of my head. I'm always
ice cream where you have to like ice cream.
Yeah. No. It's a no go here. It's a no go in this house. If you don't like ice cream, you move into the shed, and you can't.
Exactly.
You can't. No ice cream. That's the other thing. I can't eat ice cream.
I know. Yeah.
Ice cream is like the weirdest like one where I've grown up like not just growing up, but like also just as an adult, people are like, you don't eat ice cream? I was like, I like ice cream sandwiches. That's it. Everything else, I'm just like, I'm not a big ice cream fan.
That's kind of like Sterling. He doesn't really like ice cream. Like, he'll eat an ice cream sandwich or like the occasional drumstick, but like a bowl of ice cream is not his thing.
No,
Corey likes ice cream sandwiches and Oreo ice cream. That's all he buys. Like
that's all.
Or like the cookies and cream, I guess I should say. He likes the Oreo brand, but like he likes cookies and cream and ice cream sandwiches.
If I'm feeling pressured, I'll eat mint, like the mint flavored ice cream, because
I was gonna say, isn't that your thing?
Yeah, but I don't like actively enjoy it. Like, it's like, I mean, like, yeah, when I'm eating it, I'm like, okay, like this is tolerable, I'm fine. But like literally as I'm eating it, this will sound ridiculous, but literally as I'm eating it, I'm just like, God, this is so cold.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you guys one question,
Sure.
and then we can get off birthdays if you want.
Fine birthday.
Was there a time of day that you prefer for birthdays?
As a parent or as a kid?
Both. Like, do you have like a preference? Like, would you rather an afternoon, a morning, an evening?
I like
does
a
it,
morning.
or does it just not matter?
The last birthday party we went to was like 11 a.m. and it was pretty good. And we were like home at like 1, and then, but it was like in a play place, so it was like a solid time. But then,
yeah, this last one was at 11:15. Was the time of the party for Melissa and Michelle, and they were able to then, like, after they left the party, they were able to like go shopping afterwards, and it was like, oh, that's like a nice day now for like
the best time.
Yeah, I would, as a parent taking a kid, yeah, it's nice to go in the morning, or like to go, or like have like a noon and stuff. It's tricky with the twins because they still take a nap, but like if it fits, like I like doing something in the morning.
and my nephew normally has his in the afternoon, and it's not bad. But then we go to the party. It's at a play place, and then after the party, like, we go back to their house and have dinner. But that's like a family thing. So I don't know. They both have their ups and downs.
As a parent with a toddler, I hate when it's between 12 and 2. It drives me crazy, just because that's always nap time.
Yeah.
And like and R even napped until he was 4. So like it was just like, it was way too hard to ever plan anything between those times.
Yeah.
But with R's birthday last year, we did it between, I think we did like a 10 till 12, and I loved it. Hosting it in the morning, I loved. I like cleaned the night before, and then I had all afternoon to clean. I didn't have to like wait until bedtime to clean.
Yeah.
And we also did pancakes as the snack, which is like the easiest thing to make in batches. Pancakes and fruit, like, is like a serving of a food.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So that was the thing that I liked. But then also I like an late afternoon, like pizza party is also a nice thing. But
yeah, if we're hosting, I either would want it really early, or I'd want it in the afternoon, like later in the afternoon. I agree with you. If I'm going to a party, it's like, in the morning is always the best, because then you just don't lose your entire day. But I absolutely 100% agree with you in the with the nap stuff. It's very frustrating when you still have kids that take a nap in the middle of the day, and it's like, so did they not take a nap? Do they just like power through? Do you try to take a nap if you're going over to a place that you're comfortable with them maybe taking a nap there or something? But if it's at an actual place, like you're going to a trampoline park or whatever, like the party's not at a house, it's at somewhere else. You obviously can't take a nap on the trampoline, so it's like, what are you
Yeah.
stuff? So yeah, that sounds nice though, like doing like right at like 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
That sounds
boom.
nice, like hosting
Get
it then,
done,
and then it's
go
done.
home, like your lunch is pretty much done because you've had cake for lunch or pancakes or whatever. But we got Elle got invited to a birthday, and it was at like 11:30 to 1:30, and I'm like, all the kids you're inviting at daycare nap at 12:30.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
smack dab in the middle, including
Yeah.
your kid. And I guess like their kid probably didn't nap anymore, and it was the youngest of a bunch of kids.
That's the trickiest thing of still having kids that nap is like, that's just planning in general is like when you have, is just figuring, but
yeah.
Birthday parties are especially tricky because you want them to have energy. Like you don't want them to be the cranky kid that's at the birthday party because they're the ones that like, well, this is when they would nap. And then every parent is just like, then why would you bring them to this party? It's like, because we were invited to this party. Like, what do you want me to do? It's just like, I don't want to say no and they don't get to go to parties until they're done naps. Like, it's like, that's and I know your kids love to sleep, Hannah, so they
only enjoy napping.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
the But growing up, it's, I don't know, I don't remember a lot of the younger parties that when I was younger that I had, but as you get older, it's like, I think you just constantly want the birthday party to be shifted to later and later and later until eventually you're old enough that it's like, hey, it's in the evening, and then hey, and now you're going out at night, and then now you're in your 20s and you go out all night and stuff. Like, I feel like as you get older, it just gets shifted later and later in the day as when it's the best time to go.
And then your parents can just be like, you have the house, don't make a mess, I'm going out for dinner.
Exactly. Like exactly. You get to that point.
And then they start getting earlier.
Exactly.
Again.
I feel like the cycle comes all the way back where then you just start pushing it earlier and earlier and earlier, and then you're just like, I'd like the party, you sound like us, I'd like the party to be at like 10 a.m. Yeah. We have breakfast, and then
so for my mom's 65th birthday, I should host her a brunch?
Yeah. Absolutely. Host her a brunch. That's everybody's over, everybody has coffee, and it's lovely, and tea and stuff. Oh, that sounds great. And then when the party's over, everybody goes and takes a nap. Like, it's like wonderful. That's what you want.
Yeah, that does sound really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what to do for when my mom turns 65. We passed my dad, so it's just my mom now.
Awesome. So then it's just that, and that's your theme. Your theme is breakfast, or making it to nap time. That's all.
Make it to nap time. There we go.
That's the banner and stuff. Now I just want early birthdays. Isn't that so weird? You get older and you're just like, I'd like everything to be done in the morning, please.
I need a concert that starts at like 3 p.m.
Wouldn't that be nice? A matinee concert? I'd love that. It's lunchtime for me. I'm getting hangry, so.
Go make lunch?
Yeah, same.
You guys having lunch? All right. Yeah, we have lunch. Yeah, go get lunch. Go eat. Going to go get another cup of coffee.
If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. If you want to chat with us, slide into our DMs, leave a comment, or email us at thestayathomespodcast@gmail.com. Bye!